Doctor Who Season 1 released earlier this year, trying to go for a soft reboot sort of approach, but still being a mixed bag for the most part, having very high highs and also very low lows. Despite this, it has been announced that a 5-episode mini-series spin-off will be releasing next year, after we get Ncuti Gatwa's second season of Doctor Who. And I want to talk about it because whilst I am still excited to watch the show, I am a little confused at the decision to make it. Before we start, if you are new here though, please consider subscribing to the channel. I make videos on Doctor Who as well as many other shows people love, such as The Boys, Supernatural, Umbrella Academy, and even more. So if you like the shows, you like this video, you will probably like that content as well. But let's just get into talking about Doctor Who. So I generally thought this season 1 was good. Like others, it was very much a mixed bag, but leaning more on the positive side with me. It had some weaker episodes like Empire of Death, but has one of my favourite episodes of all time with 73 yards. So overall, what we got, I was happy with. However, it undeniably struggled with serialization. It most certainly had setup throughout the season, but I feel like the story kind of failed with its landing, lacking a good explanation or any sense as to why or how anything and everything worked. And I believe this is a result of it only having 8 episodes, 2 of which are Doctor Light. Over the past 10 years or so, the episode count has slowly declined, going from 13 to 12 to 10, but we're down to 8 now. Meaning at this point in the main show, we are almost at half the length of the original seasons. And I personally don't think 8 episodes is enough for this sort of show. And sadly, I don't think I'm alone with that statement. Apparently this lower episode count is to allow RTD and the creators behind the show to be able to release this show annually, because that hasn't always been a thing. And that's alright, that's not a bad idea to go for. I was originally fine with that episode cut if it meant we had it every single year. However, since we got the announcement of the show, the war between the land and the sea, and are told that it's releasing next year with season 2, it just made me wonder why it even existed. Why not just take the 5 episodes that show is getting and give it to the main one? I'm all for spin-offs, and this one does sound interesting, but for me the biggest pull of the show Doctor Who, coincidentally, is the Doctor himself, is the TARDIS, is the time and space travel. I love all of that, and that is kind of what makes me love this show so much. Because the spin-offs of the show will never actually have the Doctor in it, to me at least, I feel like they will always stay secondary, as opposed to something like Marvel where every character could easily be a main character and actually is in the source material. And so it's always going to be hard coming off of this show. Torchwood is the only spin-off I have actually watched, and it was good. It felt like Doctor Who, or at least Doctor Who adjacent, but it still was not as good as Doctor Who in my eyes. And sadly, I don't think this new show will either. Doctor Who is one of those shows where the main character will always be the best part of the show and the main part of the show. So I just don't understand the choice of creating a spin-off show when you've already had to reduce the episode count of your main show. Instead of the war between the land and the sea, we could have had a 13-episode Doctor Who season as well as a Christmas special. Back to how it was in the early seasons of the show. I cannot talk for everybody, but I definitely would have preferred this myself. Not just to solve the serialization problems I think season 1 had, but just to have more Doctor Who adventures. It seems spin-offs are a thing that is inevitable and are planned to still happen in the future. And if this one is successful, they will 100% go forward with that. But why not reimburse the show first and get it back to what it was? To me, the show's in a good spot, but it's definitely not at the height of its popularity. I feel like focusing on bringing it back up first would be a better move than to try and expand the universe and create sideshows of all these other characters. Like I said, I will watch this show and any others they make, obviously, but I will probably always be thinking in the back of my mind that instead of this, we could have just had more Doctor Who. Anyway, this was just a short video I wanted to make to kind of show you a thought I had about this spin-off when it came out that I really haven't seen anyone talk about. I would like to hear what you guys have to say though on the subject matter, so drop some comments down below. Do you agree with me, or will I end up eating my words when this show is phenomenal? I don't know, but with that said, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.